What are the worst scenarios in the growing saffron indoors in a saffron vertical farm? What are the big mistakes in the growing saffron indoors? I want to share with you. The first one, buying a small saffron bulbs. If you buy a small saffron bulb, for example, under 25 gram, under 20 gram, even if the best technique with the best knowledge, you are not able harvest the saffron, because now the price of this dry saffron started from per kilogram dry saffron is the near 6,000 euro. Some country we have also 20,000 euro per kilogram. Therefore, gram by gram of this saffron is important for you. This is not like a potato, like the tomato. Per kilogram is too much. Therefore, you should program how this have economical justification, how makes sense when you harvest the maximum saffron from these bulbs. The weight of saffron is very clear. Second, the cold shocking is very important. The cold shocking, the duration of the cold shocking, and the time that you want to start the cold shocking, when you want to give the cold shocking. Because if you earlier that the suitable time you give the cold shocking, okay, these are inside these we have the nutrients inside the saffron bulb. For example, if the earlier give the cold shocking, you stop the increasing inside the nutrients, because inside the nutrients we have the 3 months after the bulbs, in the 3 months of the summer, known as dormancy. The condition should be near the 25 centigrade, and the humid, in the average humidity is like the 70 to 80%, and without light. If you earlier give the cold shocking, you break the dormancy and the nutrients stop for the increasing, because the nutrients decide for your flowering. These nutrients converted into flower. Therefore, you should know when I should give cold shocking. Even the 3 days later or the 3 days sooner, you face with the problem or your production will be half. This is the difference. People that say I harvested from the 1 ton saffron bulbs 1 kilogram dry saffron super negin and another 400, 600. Therefore, it's very important. You should on time give cold shock, not earlier. Even if you, because in the nutrients inside the dormancy time start to the increasing the weight. But if you later than you give the cold shocking, because if you identify when the dormancy should be finished and the nutrients when in themselves stop, you should on time. This is the best time. But you should later than the suitable time give the cold shocking. These are started to the shrinking nutrients. Okay. Therefore, if you give the cold shock sooner than the suitable time, you break the dormancy time and you didn't finish the dormancy time. 3 months after dormancy should be finished. And also, if the later than the shrinking the nutrients start to the decreasing, to the shrinking. And if this is heavy bulbs, okay, these are all heavy bulbs. This is the near average 40 gram saffron bulb, each of them 40 gram, 40 gram, 40 gram. If you later give the cold shocking, the nutrients inside the converted to the flower start to the decreasing. Therefore, there is not difference between this heavy bulb, between a bulb with a 5 gram, 10 gram. You should identify, when the dormancy time is finished, and when you give in the on time you give the cold shocking immediately after the finishing dormancy time, after finishing making the nutrients, you should start the cold shocking. Because some of you think only cold shocking is important, only the temperature before the 7 days before flowering is important. That's wrong. 3 months after dormancy is very important. In this time, even after harvesting the saffron bulb from the land, dormancy will be started. Therefore, this time is also very important. In the suitable time, give even the duration of the cold shocking. The amount of the temperature, depending on the countries, to be honest, is completely different. Sometimes a little dormancy, because in this I cannot give you an amount of the cold shocking for a country like the UAE and a country, for example, like the Germany or the Italy, even the India. Each country has a special cold shock. For example, they are because experience summer, different experience summer. Also, the third, I tell you first, the most important part in the bath after the cold shocking. Also, that is another thing that is very important, is the managing labor force. You know, harvesting saffron farm is not issue. Harvesting from the shelves is not, doesn't take time. That is very key. When we say the labor force is the high in the harvesting, I mean separating petal from the stigma. This process very takes time because the per worker is able from the 4 hours is only able is the 1 kilogram fresh flower the clean. Even the some country maybe takes time 5 hours or 6 hours with 2 workers to cleaning or the separating 1 kilogram fresh flower. 1 kilogram fresh flowers after the separating, after the cleaning, gives you a 20 gram dry saffron, between the 18 to 20 gram each kilogram fresh flower. Therefore, for harvesting 20 gram, okay, you should hire the workers for the 1 worker 4 hours, 5 hours. Some countries this number is near 8 hours takes time, 8 hours or 10 hours takes time only for 20 gram. Therefore, you should train in the suitable way your worker. They should the professional worker, because the Iranian is the best worker, but in your country maybe it's hard to hire the workers for the harvesting, for the separating the saffron farm. Therefore, you should therefore you should hire in the professional worker, or you manage the worker. Okay, it takes time. Even in Iran takes time. What should we do? The solution is the machine that separate. Machine near the 90% decrease your labor fast cost, because you know, if you pay for the machine separator, there is not difference for the machine. You want to produce 2 kilogram dry saffron, you want to produce 200 kilogram dry saffron. There is not difference. Even the labor cost is not higher. For example, a machine for operator takes time near the 2 worker for the separating 2 kilogram dry saffron. The machine also for producing, separating 200 kilogram, 500 kilogram dry saffron also takes time with the 2 workers. Therefore, is economical justification the machine that for the who that want to produce saffron in the high demand. They want to hire in the high demand. Therefore, is suitable. Therefore, I recommend for you the machines for the people that want to produce saffron over 5 kilogram dry saffron. Even if you want to regular have a 4 kilogram dry saffron, has an economical justification. Therefore, these 3 things very important. These 3 things is very important: the weight of saffron bulbs, the time of the cold shocking, and the managing labor force. Also, beside this, you should have a good overview of the business plan. In the business plan of the economic sector, you should know what things is necessary to buy and what is not necessary. In my book, as an economic sector, I have provided a sample business plan in my book. You can read. That is a very, very important. Some of you, unfortunately, focus the thing that is not necessary. For example, the light. I'm seeing the some of my train is not that recently have become my clients. I see that have paid, for example, near the 5,000 euro, 6,000 euro for the light, 2,000 euro for the light. That is not necessary. To be honest, not necessary. Even the country, we don't have access to the sunlight. And then when we want to, for example, invite them for the purchasing air handling unit, they say, I don't have money for the air handling unit or the chiller or the other system, the heating system. Therefore, he paid or she paid for the light that is not necessary, and the one that is a very, very necessary heating and the cooling system for the temperature, because the temperature determines your quality, your quantity. Thank you. I hope give you my mean of the challenges of the growing saffron indoors. Furthermore, if you have the good managing, I have explained in my book how you can reach to the 2-time flowering, experience 2-time flowering. This is very helpful for you if you want to stay in this business. Thank you. If you need my book, you can text me a message on WhatsApp 009-8935-825-3945. Thank you. My name is Ardalan Gilavizadeh. Thank you. Subscribe my channel and like. Thank you.